Hi class, my name is Miss V, and I thought I would start off a video here to show you what to focus on this week. Week 1, I know that you are already thinking about how to do everything you're being asked to do this week. So I wanted to let you know the best way to go about it. So you will want to read through all of these pages on D2L. So the week 1 assignments, there's really 2 quick ways to get there. Either go to the table of contents and click on week 1, learning materials, and then you can just work your way through each one by going to this arrow. Think of these as pages in a textbook you don't have to buy. All right. So then when you get to the end of that, you will have the information you need to do the assignments. The first assignment that is due Thursday evening, so I know you need to get started on it right away if you haven't already done it, is to annotate a text to show that you've understood it. So I would recommend looking at the examples of good annotation and also watch this video. It's a quick video and it will give you some tips on best practices for annotating. And then the text that you're annotating is online. So you will be doing your annotations in Google. So let me, and this looks slow. Here we go. So the annotation assignment, you'll be annotating reading number 1. Reading number 1 is under here where it says, what are my course readings? And then reading number 1 is called, Are We Prepared? So our theme this semester is going to be on climate change. So you will click here where it says reading, and there's the link. Now you will need to make your own copy of it. So you'll go to File, make a copy, because we can't all write on this one because it would get very crowded. So the whole class can't use this same copy. You're going to have to do your own copy. So you'll go to File, make a copy, and then you will be annotating it electronically. If you looked at that entire page on annotation, let me go back to it. There are instructions on how to do electronic annotations. So if you scroll down here where it says, how do I annotate? There is a video on how to annotate in Google Docs or in Microsoft Word, but you will probably use Google Docs since you will be setting up that document already in Google. When you are looking at our course, what is going to be due, the fastest ways to find out what your schedule is to go here, our course schedule, and to look in that far right column, or to go here where the calendar is. So the annotation assignment is there. Underneath that, something else that's due on Thursday is the Understanding Plagiarism quiz. Now think of this as an open notes quiz. You can certainly keep open these documents in front of you. So it says review this resource on plagiarism and then review the college's policies, and you can have them open. You have 3 chances to get a perfect score, so you can take it more than once. We want you to learn the material. We're not trying to trick you in any way. So you don't have to submit something, but you do have to hit save to have the quiz count. And then the other 2 assignments this week are due on Sunday. So you will have a paraphrasing assignment. And when you paraphrase, you will need to, again, use reading number 1, which is Are We Prepared? And then you're going to notice that you have 3 different authors you are citing. And when we cite 3 different authors, this goes into how to paraphrase in general. You always need to include, when you paraphrase, the author's last name and the date. However, and this is a big however, when you are paraphrasing or quoting, you need to use APA rules. And APA, let me go back to our, in the paraphrasing assignment, there is a link to the paraphrasing module, because you're going to be using just the first author's last name, which is Price, and then you are going to use, it's called et al., which means and others. You are also going to use signal verbs. I'm going to put up an example of this because I know it's a little bit confusing, but when we go into APA, there are a lot of different rules on how to cite. You will be using two different styles this semester. One's called a narrative citation, the other is called a parenthetical citation. So you will want to learn how to use them. When you use et al., which means and others, you only need to put Price's name in your citation. So, again, I know this sounds a little confusing because you're just learning so much all at once. When you look at the sample paraphrasing assignment, I think that will help too. So we have so many resources in this course. You just have to do some clicking to look at them. Think of it as turning a page in a textbook, okay? So this shows an example of a narrative citation. This one shows an example of a parenthetical citation. When you quote, you need to include the paragraph number. When you cite, however, when you paraphrase, you do not need to include the paragraph number. So a quotation, you have to have the paragraph number. Paraphrase, you do not have to have the paragraph number, okay? So take advantage of the really helpful references and resources we have in our course. The final assignment this week is going to be your Unit 1 progress check. So our main goal this Unit 1, is to write a summary and response essay. That will be due at the end of week 2. So this option, this semester you're doing option number 2, which is a planner. So you're going to download the planner, and then you will want to look at our sample to give you some ideas of how much detail you need to get into when you summarize and respond to, "Are we prepared?" by Price et al. So this goes into what your thesis statement might look like. You're going to be answering 2 different prompts that are listed in the course. So when you write your thesis statement, you will want to mention and give kind of a nod to or a mention to the 2 prompts that you're going to be writing about. And then your summary, we have a model first sentence for your summary paragraph, because the summary must include the author's name, the year of publication, the title of the article in quotation marks, and the source in italics. You will include purpose and audience. The audience, of course, will be readers of the Clarion Ledger, because that's where the article was published, in the Clarion Ledger. And then you're going to include major details by paraphrasing them. So you need to use your annotations. Look at where the main ideas and major details are in the article. You want to include all of the big ideas in your summary paragraph, but you're paraphrasing. You are not quoting. And you don't want to plagiarize, so you have to make sure you're using your own words. And then you'll have a summary sentence. And then the response, you just have to do 2 body paragraphs. So you can leave this 3rd point blank. That's totally fine. And then you will have a conclusion sentence, which is your thesis reworded. I hope this helps. I know this is a lot of information. Get in touch if you have any questions. I'm always happy to help.